Hello there, everyone. TheAndrata here, and welcome back to episode 22 of our FTB OceanBlock Let's Play series, where today we are working on automating the Induction Smelter to 3x to 5x our ores and our gems. So let's get started. All right, so today, first off, we have a pig to slaughter. We have the Skyrim pig here, and if ever I wanted a hat, it would be the Viking hat, because, why not? Anyway, so today we are going to be working on trying to, it was pointed out in the comments, which I don't know why I didn't ever think of this, but by a commenter named Dranyth, I think it is. I'm probably saying that wrong. Dranyth, Dranyth, mentioned that we can automate the induction smelter. And I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Xnet, our good old friend Xnet, should be able to automate the induction smelter for us. And so then we don't even have to be honest, we wouldn't even have to worry about pulverizing ores ever. It would just be one machine that would do all of our stuff for us. And we still have a massive backlog. Look at this. We're getting a ton of dusts in here because, this thing isn't able to keep up with the dusts or anything. So yeah. Also, you know what? That should be exporting all the dusts into here. Did I miss copper dust or something? Or no, there's just no stack upgrades, so it's only able to do one at a time. To do, let's add it to the to do so that I can actually say to do stack upgrades and speed upgrades. Teaching the refined storage system how to make these would be smart. We will get back to industrial foregoing, but I want to try this. We're deviating a bit. I want to go ahead and try and get Xnet set up so we can automate that, because the induction smelter takes all of our resources and, depending on the resource, quadruples them. So yeah. So let's search at Xnet and let's see what we have. Okay, so Xnet is a fantastic mod made by, I don't remember who, to be honest with you. It's part of RF Tools. So anyway, Xnet's a great mod that allows you to use connectors. It's basically, if you ever played with Ender IO cables, it's very similar to Ender IO in 1.12. And I hope Ender IO eventually gets updated to 1.16 or maybe 1.17 or 18, because I know we're moving towards that. We have the bug. Let's go ahead and grab a button. This is a known thing in, we're not gonna be able to do anything. Spruce planks, we can get a button that way. This is a known issue with refined storage in conjunction with storage drawers, where from reading on the GitHub, it has to do with the order that refined storage and storage drawers loads their attached inventories. The refined storage loads before storage drawers does with the external storage. So refined storage loads the external storage onto the drawer controllers, and the drawer controller hasn't populated all of its stuff yet. And so refined storage says, hey, there's nothing in this drawer controller. And what you have to do is trigger a block update either on the external storage or in the refined storage system in order to get it to pick everything up. Because if we look in here, we're not seeing any of our, our stuff. None of our stuff's in here. So what we can do is put a button on this, and we can change refined storage to only work without a redstone signal. And what this is going to do, when I pulse this, it's going to shut our system off, turn it back on, which triggers a block update for the external storage. And now all of our stuff should show up. Are you making me a liar here, refined storage system? What in the world's going on? External storage. Oh, I had it on insert only. I was cleaning up the inventory. Okay, well, maybe that wasn't the bug that is present in this. But if you do run into that, I know Direwolf ran into this in his Enigmatica 6 playthrough, and I've run into it in all of my playthroughs with refined storage and storage doors, so I'm just going to leave it set up. But anyway, you put a button onto your refined storage system, you set it to only work without a redstone signal. When you reload your world, this button is going to pulse after, refined storage will start up. Then this button's going to pulse as part of the world loading process, and it will reset this, and everything will work fine. Got it? Bada bing, bada boom. So there we go. Now we have access to all of our stuff. So back to Xnet. So we need a controller. So we're going to grab I did get a machine frame already, I believe. Did I? We'll grab another one just in case. And it was the repeaters that I didn't have. And a comparator. And bing. There's a controller. So outside of a controller, the only other thing we're going to need is cables. And I'll probably go with blue network cables for this because it uses blue dye. And blue dye is made from lapis. And we have 2,000 lapis. So we have plenty of blue dye available to us. Outside of that, we don't really have a lot of options for dye. I mean, we have poppies and we have dandelion and we have, we don't have a lot. So blue network cables it is. So let's go ahead and grab 16 blue network cables. That should be more than enough. And then we're going to need blue connectors. And the connectors are the brain pieces. They're the ones that actually interact with blocks. So we're going to need a couple of these. I'm not sure how many. If we can grab 16, I'd grab 16 or 18 because I already had 2. And that should be good. So let's go ahead and take this, and I'm going to go and move the induction smelter, and I'm just going to, centralize it here so we can work with it, and then we can throw it back in line if we wanted to. I mean, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. We have this whole platform. What's the point of just using the edges when we have the whole platform? I don't know why I tend to build on the edges and leave the middles open. I just think it looks cleaner, but it is such wasted space. And it has been pointed out to me in the comments before that it is such wasted space. And I don't disagree. It is. Absolutely. Okay, so let's get some energy pipes. Bam. So this guy gets his energy back. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up our Xnet controller. It's going to sit, say, here. Xnet controller does require power, so we're going to go ahead and give it power. And we actually could use Xnet to provide power to our induction smelter. You know what? Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to have everything run through the induction smelter, Xnet. So we can go ahead and put, and actually I don't want that there. I want it. Shoot. I don't have a really good way to clean this up because these cables are right below, and yeah, if I run pipes there, there's going to be pipes there. We don't have I can't put the blocks back. Well, let's make it even more better by offsetting it. Yeah, that's a great way to make it look nicer. Just make it uneven, non-symmetrical. That's not going to bother you at all, TheAndrata. Not at all. Not at all. Okay. Let's go ahead and where is my pipe wrench? We're going to disconnect this just for visual purposes. It doesn't really matter. It wasn't actually connected, but for visual acuity, we will disconnect it. Okay. So what we're going to need is cover that up. So we have a controller, right? And in the controller, man, now I'm realizing the power is going to be an issue because I'm using these pipes. These pipes are very challenging to work with sometimes. Let's see if we can't get this to work. The issue is that these pipes don't connect to the, you see, they're supposed to do this, which means that it's connecting to a valid block. Look, they're not doing it here. Maybe we have to set this to extract. Let's disconnect this. Are you going to pick up? Yeah, see, look, it doesn't pick up that pipe at all. Because of the way these pipes work. Son of a shklululululululu. And I don't have any other pipes. And I don't have mechanisms set up, so I don't think I can make a mechanism energy pipe. They're not energy pipes. I can't remember the name of them. The basic universal cable. That's what it is. I'd have to get steel. What could I do to get steel without mechanism? Coal and iron, coal dust specifically in iron. Can I get this in a pulverizer? I can. Coal. Coal dust. You're just going to go right back into there. And I don't want the coal dust is going to come over here and get smelted. Oh, no, the coal dust will end up in the system. Okay. No, and it figures now I need to put the induction smelter back because what kind of recipe was that? An induction smelting recipe. So there's coal dust. Let's get some iron. Wow, that is a very slow recipe. I don't have any of the upgrades in here. No, I do. Wow, that is a very slow recipe. And I over tick accelerated because these are running. Just turn off for a minute, buddy. Turn off. Let this guy get all of the power. Oh man, I messed up by tick accelerating it because once it runs out of power, it resets progress. So we gotta wait for that tick acceleration to go away. You kidding me? You kidding me, Chief? Outputting at 400 RF, and it can transfer at 8,000 RF. So there should honestly be no bottleneck here. And this thing can output at 2,000 RF. So yeah, there really shouldn't be a bottleneck here, but there is. Okay. 2 steel, which is all I needed. All right, that's good. Bam, bam. Basic universal cable. Give me that. Okay. And this can transfer at 3,000 RF per tick, which is significantly better than these pipes. These pipes are cheap, but it may be time to start swapping them out for other things. I use these in my all the mods playthrough. Just like I said, they're cheap, but they are inconvenient when it comes to things like this. I don't even think, can they connect to a mechanism cable? I don't even think they can. So, you're really making this difficult. Here, pipes. We're gonna have to make a whole new flux point. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just done dealing with it. We're gonna make a flux point. We're gonna have it connect. Let's do this flux point. We should have everything we need to make this. Bam. Okay. So what we can do is set this up here. And then we can have off of that can sit here. This. Good. This is going to be our output network, and this is going to be our induction smelter. So now, if we hook up a connector, it doesn't really matter. This is the only machine. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I'm thinking about it. Unless I wanted to have the induction smelter sit here instead, but I really don't care at this point. Let's just put this here. Bam. Okay, you're gonna get power. Good. You got power. Good. Okay. So what we need is a drawer. We're also gonna be using some refined storage with this system. So we're gonna wanna go ahead and get a regular single drawer. And then we're gonna want a drawer downgrade. That's not what it's called. There is the, it is storage downgrade. What this does, it only allows this drawer to hold 1 stack of items instead of 32 stacks of items by default. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this. We're going to have 2 chests. We're going to have an input chest and an output chest. And we'll probably upgrade these to iron chests just so that there's a little bit more inventory space for each one. Okay. So we're going to need 2 chests. We're going to need a input chest for our induction smelter, and we're going to need an output chest. Okay. Then we're also going to need a drawer, and the drawer can sit here. And then everything's going to need a connector hooked up to it. So we're going to go ahead and get our blue connectors. Connector, 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 connector. So everything is now connected in our refined storage system. In this drawer is where our cinnabar is going to go. And then we can go ahead and lock it and throw the storage downgrade in it. So it can only hold one stack. And then from there, we want, we're going to want an exporter from refined storage to just export the ore or the cinnabar into this. So we can go ahead and put this here, and it's not going to be the most pretty thing in the world, but we'll have a cable just come right up here because there's really no other way to hide it. I wish refined storage would have facades, so you can, facade blocks, but you can't, so it's not too big a deal. Cinnabar. Here you're going to export cinnabar, and it'll only ever be able to put 64 in there, so it's not going to continuously export into it. And then we can go ahead and clean up. Bam. And yeah, that's about as good as that's going to look. We can shift this over in the future if we need to. Okay, so we have Xnet, right? And inside of Xnet, we're going to want to go ahead and set Xnet to export, first off, our cinnabar to our induction smelter. So we're going to take our drawer and we're going to set this to a item channel. And we're going to say, hey, from the drawer, go ahead. You're going to extract. And you're only going to extract cinnabar. And you're going to whitelist. No, yeah. So don't check this for whitelist. And you're going to say, extract a stack of cinnabar and insert it into the induction smelter. And theoretically, that should work. Max amount, 64. If I set the back of the induction smelter to be a input, there we go. This doesn't have colored inputs, does it? No. Okay, so there we go. We have that taken care of. Let me sleep since it is nighttime and it's raining. We can go ahead and sleep through this night. We're also going to need an exporter on our chests. We're going to need an exporter on the input chest and an importer on the output chest. But for now, we'll go ahead and just grab a bunch of this stuff. So this is our input chest, right? What we're going to say is, and I guess the input chest actually doesn't need to be attached to the induction smelter because we're going to have Xnet control the input into this. So you want to make sure this is off, but we do want the output of this to go to the right. So you're going to auto output and not auto input. So then what we're going to say is another channel here is going to be a item channel. And we're going to set this up so that we're going to set this up so that the chest, so if you double click this, it'll tell you which chest, okay? So we want this chest, yes. So we're going to say this chest, we are going to extract from, okay? We're going to extract, and we are going to, amount to keep in destination inventory is going to be, we want a single stack. So one stack, will that work? And what we're going to do is blacklist cinnabar so that it doesn't, apparently by blacklisting cinnabar, it stops Xnet from even knowing that cinnabar exists in the input slot here. So it's kind of a way to cheat Xnet to ignore the cinnabar. And we're going to say you are going to insert into this slot. And let's see, does that work? No, it put multiple in there. We need to figure out how do we get this to say a stack of 1. I'm trying to think. I'm pulling up the comment here from Dranyth real quick because he mentioned it, or she, they. Let's see, a separate channel extracts anything in the input chest and inserts it into the induction smelter, blacklisting cinnabar and maintaining a stack of 1. Maybe max amount in destination inventory is 64. So what if I take all this out? Did it do it? Maybe the blacklist has to be here for the cinnabar. Hey, that did it. Okay, so it has to be on here. Well, I mean, we could keep that as 1. I don't think that's really going to matter. But it did it. And then it failed. Okay, maybe we don't keep this as 1. What if we just blank list this? Take this out, and it's putting gold in there. Maybe 1. Okay, so because what it's doing is pulling a full stack, and then it comes into here, and then it's going to go out to here. And maybe the cinnabar one, this extract, should be, you can just extract single items so that it can just keep refilling this. Oh, then I did that. I didn't mean to do that. Let's see. Just experimenting here. What I want to see is that going back up. Okay, good, good, good. That's going back up. Because it's counting the we needed to set this to have no max amount in destination inventory, because the induction smelter doesn't differentiate between these input slots and these input slots. So Xnet is seeing these as, you know, a singular inventory. So by having a limit on this that said to 64, it's only 64 items between all of these slots. And so that's why it wasn't putting any cinnabar in, because it was saying, hey, you have, you know, 65, or I'm sorry, 42 plus 38. That's more than 64. We don't need to do anything. So, but it does look like it seems to be working here, that this is maintaining its cinnabar. The copper clusters are coming in. I want to see what happens when these copper clusters finish. So let's just give it a little bit of a boost. Why are we throttling so much on power? Oh, by the way, I don't think I mentioned this. I did the thing I said I was going to do, and I set up magmatic dynamos all up here. Each one of these has a gold upgrade in there to transfer 8,000 RF per tick. This thing's doing its thing. Yeah, everything's to be set to, let's just set this to extract, just to. And you are now magmatic dynamos. But it should be okay. And then you are extracting, and you can do 2,500 RF per tick. So yeah, we should be good. I don't understand where this bottleneck is coming from. But anyway, this should be getting done, and it's only putting in 1 at a time now, because I changed this from stack. But I think we can do. Yeah, interesting. It's actually interesting that it's only pulling 1 at a time, which doesn't make too much of a difference. It's gonna go. It just has that slight cycle delay, but it is only putting 1 item in there, which is good. What if I change this back to 64? What happens then? Yeah, and then it starts putting in extra items. Okay, so 1 is fine. We can keep it like that. We can just do the 1. We can put this in there. And then what that means is that we no longer have to have things pulverize. Everything can come in straight into this chest and get processed directly without having to, well, pulverize it. So then all we have to do is get our exporter and importer, which we already have here, and set these up onto these chests. So if we grab our exporter, now the advanced exporter is going to lose its inventory here, or its settings, which is slightly unfortunate, but it's okay. We'll make it work. So if we set this up to be like here, again, it's not the prettiest setup in the world, but it does get us to tripling our ores and like quadrupling our diamonds and stuff. So if we say advanced exporter, we want you to export clusters, and we want we're going to want all the clusters actually. So we may even need another advanced exporter. But we're going to do gold cluster, diamond, lapis, quartz. Yeah, because there's 18. We might have enough. But if I remember correctly, not everything could be induction smelted. So we'll have to see, actually. I'll have to look through all of these and see what can and can't be induction smelted. Because there were some things that, like, I think titanium is one of them, does not go into a induction smelter. So no titanium in here. But now it's going to export all of this stuff. So the titanium can continue to go through this process. So we can set titanium up in here. But everything else, I'll go ahead and reorganize those inventories once we finish. And we're going to want another importer just because that one's still going to be doing some stuff. We're actually going to want another exporter too, but that's okay. So I'll grab this. And set this here. And then you can just import straight from this chest. And then we're definitely going to want stack upgrades and speed upgrades on that. But so that should be filling up this chest with stuff, though the cinnabar is unnecessary. That can go into there. I don't know how that ended up in this chest. That might have been me putting it into the chest by accident. But it does seem to be working. Like, check it out. Everything's going. We're getting our stuff processed, and it is tripling our ore. So I'm satisfied with this setup here. Like, it works. Cinnabar is being maintained. Everything is coming into here. Like I said, I'm going to go through here and see, does it have an induction smelting recipe? Nope. So uranium does not. So we need to take uranium out of this. And we can put, I'm going to keep one of each of these just so we can know. But like I said, I'll just go through all these clusters and say, hey, do you have a induction smelter recipe? Like, it looks like aluminum does not either. I'll find aluminum. There's aluminum. And then we can take aluminum off of this. Bam. What about fluorite? Fluorite does not. Osmium does. Nickel does. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just looking to see, does it have a recipe? But I'll do that in between episodes. There's no point making y'all watch that. But yeah, anyway, so that's it for this episode. That is a fully automated induction smelter. Thank you to, again, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Dranyth for that solution to getting this done, because I felt so guilty not being able to triple or even like quintuple my diamonds and stuff. And I'm only getting, 2x on the diamonds and everything. It was really the diamonds and the lapis and the redstone that was hurting me the most. The ingots was not so important. But yeah, so anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate it. It really does help out the channel. And see, look, comments. I pull from the comments. Comment, let me know. Give me some tips and tricks. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.